Look at these two boys. They're dressed in fine velvet, sitting in what appears to be a comfortable room. But notice their faces. Look at the way the boys are huddled together. Notice the dog at their feet staring at the door. Something is deeply wrong here, isn't it? This is Paul Delaroche's 1831 painting, Edward V and the Duke of York in the Tower, and it captures one of history's most haunting mysteries, the disappearance of two royal children who were never seen again. The story begins in 1483. 12-year-old Edward V had just become King of England after the death of his father, Edward IV. His younger brother Richard, Duke of York, was about 9. Their uncle, Richard, Duke of Gloucester, was appointed Lord Protector, essentially caretaker of the throne until Edward came of age. As part of the coronation tradition, Edward was taken to the Tower of London. It was customary for future kings to stay there before their coronation. Shortly afterward, Richard was brought to join him. But that coronation never happened. Instead, Parliament declared the boys illegitimate, based on a claim that their father's marriage had been invalid. With the princes suddenly disqualified from inheriting the throne, their uncle was crowned King Richard III. And after that, the princes simply vanished from public view. Paul Delaroche painted this scene nearly 350 years later, but he understood something crucial: the power of a moment frozen in time. He didn't show a dramatic murder or a heroic escape. Instead, he showed waiting, the terrible, suffocating weight of not knowing what comes next. On the left, the younger Prince Richard holds a prayer book, but his gaze is drawn towards something beyond the frame, perhaps sounds in the corridor, the approach of footsteps. On the right, Edward, identifiable by the ribbon of the Order of the Garter on his leg, sits in quiet resignation. His eyes are distant, the look of someone trying to be brave when bravery might not be enough. Delaroche's attention to texture is extraordinary. You can almost feel the rich velvet of their clothing and the softness of the cushions. But all these beautiful things aren't comforts. They're cage decorations. The princes are surrounded by wealth, but utterly powerless. And then there's the dog, small, loyal, alert. Its gaze is fixed on something beyond the painting's edge, perhaps the approach of whoever will determine the boy's fate. In art, animals often symbolize fidelity. Here, the dog's vigilance heightens our dread. It senses danger that the boys can only imagine. Delaroche was known for immersing himself in historical detail. He is believed to have studied the Tower of London firsthand, making architectural sketches to create a convincing setting. But he also made deliberate artistic choices to heighten emotion. The actual room the princes stayed in is unknown and likely far less atmospheric. Delaroche darkened it, simplified it, turned it into a psychological space where innocence confronts an uncertain fate. The mystery of the princes had already gripped the public imagination. In 1674, workmen at the tower discovered a wooden box containing the skeletons of 2 children beneath a staircase. Were they the princes? No one knows for certain. The bones were reburied in Westminster Abbey, but questions remained. What actually happened to Edward and Richard remains unresolved. The most common theory is that they were murdered, possibly on their uncle's orders. But no document, no eyewitness account, no definitive proof has ever been found. Some historians argue they may have died of illness, or that one or both may have lived longer than believed. The uncertainty is part of what makes Delaroche's paintings so powerful. He's not illustrating an ending, he's capturing the moment before an ending. 2 boys in a tower, waiting. We'll never know exactly what they felt, but Delaroche's genius lets us imagine. Thanks for watching. What painting should I cover next? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to explore the artworks that intrigue you most.